Guys, welcome to today's video all about New Year's resolutions. Let's get started. Hey guys, long time no see. It's been a really long while since I have made a video. I filmed a ton of stuff in December, and due to some circumstances, some fortunate, some very unfortunate, I was not able to get them edited and uploaded, and it did not make sense to put them up in January because they were all Christmas themed. But I am back, and as I said at the top of the video, this will be me sharing my New Year's resolutions for 2022, and I know that New Year's resolutions can kind of be like I don't want to use the word triggering, but like a dirty word for some people, a troublesome phrase. A lot of people kind of, I don't know, naturally tense when it comes to resolutions. Myself personally, I enjoy them. I always try to make new goals and new things I want to try. And I also don't put a whole lot of pressure on myself to stick with things that I hate or to continue something that isn't serving the purpose that I thought it would. And also, if things fall by the wayside, I don't beat myself up too much about that. Like last year, I wanted to do a 30-day the 30-day yoga journey with Adriene on Yoga with Adriene here on YouTube, and I didn't do it. I got very close. I probably did about 20 days. But January was last year was a very trying time for me. And I lost a couple of people in December and in January. And I wasn't gonna beat myself up over something that was that trivial and small. So I encourage anybody who kind of cringes or has a little bit of anxiety around setting a goal for the new year to kind of reframe it. You can call it a goal, you can call it an aspiration. You don't have to call it a resolution, and you certainly don't have to stick with something that you hate or something that you thought you'd enjoy more. There are plenty of things that I have tried that I wanted to try and give a shot to, and made one of my New Year's resolutions to try it, hated it, and stopped. For instance, bullet journaling. Couldn't stand bullet journaling. Tried it, it looked super cute. I saw all those Pinterest things, and I saw videos here on YouTube on how to do a bullet journal, and thought I'd give it a try. It wasn't for me. So definitely take everything that I'm saying with a grain of salt, and just kind of be gentle with yourself when it comes to stuff like this. But also don't be afraid to aim. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid to aim and fire. And if you miss, you miss. You can always reload and try again. To use an odd, I don't know why I used that metaphor, but I did. Okay. Goal number one, and this one I kind of do anyway a little bit, but I wanted to make it a little bit more formal, and that is memory keeping. Last year I did December daily. I did it again. In fact, my husband is picking up the photos that I had printed up today, and he's bringing them home when he gets home from work, so I'm really excited about that. But I absolutely loved the process of December daily. December is a great month for us, but it's a busy month. My niece's birthday, my son's birthday, my sister and myself, we all have birthdays in that month. We always take a trip to Williams, Arizona to the Polar Express in that month. My sister and I always celebrate our birthdays together in that month. And of course we have Christmas, Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, all the jazz and fun celebrations that go in the month of December. So it's a very busy time that can often like fly by and be a bit of a blur for me. And when I heard about the December Daily project by Ali Edwards, I was like, yes, I'm gonna try it. Tried it, absolutely loved it, and I'm doing it again. And I thought that since I enjoyed the process so much, that I would do a little bit more in-depth and formal memory keeping on a regular basis throughout the year. I kind of do more like note-taking in terms of memory keeping for the most part. Like I have a leather-bound journal that is just funny, cute, weird, silly things that my kids have said. Like their first words are documented in there. The little phrases that they say, there's a lot of fart jokes from the kids in there. That's just, you know, that comes with the territory of having boys. And I just write it all down in there, just a real quick jot down of notes of the things that they say. I also kind of do a bit of a jot down. Sorry, they're in here right now. I also do kind of a bit of a jot down of our vacations, but sorry, my son gave me a granola bar. I don't know why I'm eating it, but mindless eating, maybe that should be on there. But anyhow, so definitely wanting to do more memory keeping, kind of scrapbooking style, but kind of my own version of it. So that is definitely on the list of goals. And these are in no particular order, so I'm just reading off the list that I wrote down of the stuff that I wanted to do. Alone time. Alone time. As an introvert, as somebody who both wants and needs alone time, I'm trying to make that a priority for myself, and making it a priority without feeling guilty about it. I think most of my viewers are moms. The mom guilt is serious when it comes to just carving out alone time. My youngest just turned 5. He is super attached. Both of my kids are attached. I homeschool. They're with me all the time. I've always been a stay-at-home mom, and I like having that attachment, but I do also need time just to myself, just a break in general from the boys and my husband. And that sounds kind of awful to say, but we all need it. And I think that, you know, just saying that honestly will probably help a lot of people who feel the same, but don't know if it's okay to say that out loud. I need quiet alone time with no distractions, just doing things for me, whether it be taking a bath or doing a crossword puzzle or a jigsaw puzzle or whatever, or just going to Target on my own every once in a while. Just not only making that a priority for myself, but doing so without being so hard on myself, or without like, oh, I need to hurry up and get home because what if, you know, what if disaster struck? My husband's a very competent man. He can handle it. The kids, they're not babies. They can handle it, and I need to remind myself of that. Continuing with my declutter journey. Last year, I decluttered once a week the entire year, with a few exceptions. Probably missed like 6 weeks out of 52, which is really good, actually. It was a lot better than I thought it would be. And I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I learned how to do it in a way that works best for me and my space, and what I'm willing to spend on organization. Because let me tell you, the organization market is vast, and the prices can be really, really up there, except, you know, especially for like the Instagram worthy stuff. And I found what works for me, how to declutter my particular spaces. And there was definitely a learning curve that I didn't expect. But I kind of have that down a little bit now. And I'll make a video about my experiences decluttering for the year, probably in the next week or two, and I'll upload it for you guys. So definitely continuing on the declutter train. So of course, expect more declutter videos. Moving daily, even if it's just a 5-minute stretch. So just moving more, maintaining what I've got, maybe even gaining a little bit more strength, a little bit more flexibility, and a little bit more cardiovascular strength. So again, even if it's just 5 minutes of stretching, doing some twists or whatever, really concentrating on my spine, just because like my grandmother had osteoporosis pretty badly, and my mother has scoliosis, and I saw their struggles with not having a good foundation in their back. And even though I don't have those things, so no matter what, you know, my back will not be as challenging for me as it is for them. I don't ever want to get to that point. So definitely maintenance and improvement. So that is definitely on my list. And to kind of go with that, once again, this is one that I do every year, It's just the 30-day yoga journey with Adriene from Yoga with Adriene here on YouTube. I will link her channel below if you've never seen her stuff. Definitely check it out. Again, last year I didn't complete it, but every other year that I've done it, I've done the full 30 days, even if it took me a couple of weeks more than just January. So far, it's day 7, and I've done every day. And hopefully I will continue with that habit because it really has made a noticeable impact in how my day goes. So I'm really enjoying that. Okay, my next goal is being a more conscious shopper and consumer. I made it a goal last year to reduce my plastic use, my easily disposable plastic use. I switched to silicone straws. I switched to bar soap. Obviously, I live in California, so plastic bags aren't really a thing here. You have to purchase plastic bags, and they're a little bit thicker than the ordinary bags you would get at the grocery store if you live out of state. And they run you a dime every time. I do get those when I do my Walmart grocery pickup, and I use them to line my trash cans. But if I'm at Target or something like that, I try to make an effort to bring reusable bags. And I did that even before the law changed, and I just think it's a nice thing to kind of be mindful of the fact that this stuff kind of sticks around. And I don't know what your personal beliefs are, but I personally believe that we are stewards of this planet, and it's one of our jobs to take care of it. Just like it's a job to take care of our homes, because this is our home and we only got one. So definitely being more conscious of what I'm buying, not only for environmental reasons, but also, budgetary reasons. I don't want to spend a crazy amount of money. We've got 2 college funds to save for. And then also, I noticed that one of the things that I can have a tendency to do, I don't do it often, but when I do it, as soon as I get home, I know I've done it. And that is buying something that looks cute on a display shelf with all the other things that go with it, bringing it home, and it just doesn't look as cute. Probably because the other things that are on that display shelf aren't in my home, or it's a weird style that doesn't go with anything, but it looks cute. And I've done it maybe 4 or 5 times where I've caught myself, and I'm just not keen on that. So I've been making an effort, and will continue to do so, to really think about what I'm buying and whether or not I genuinely like it and want it in my house, or if it's just something that looks cute on the shelf. A new gratitude practice, a specific one. My sister introduced me to this podcast. I cannot remember the name of it offhand. I will link it below for you guys. But there was, he's a physician, and he has his own podcast about general wellness, I would say. But this one was on a specific form of gratitude practice, and the most beneficial for us. And it was really, really interesting. It had a lot of great information on what it does for us in terms of our brains, our mental health, our general well-being. And that is to meditate on a time in your life where either you specifically expressed gratitude, you were grateful for something that someone did for you, or that somebody was grateful toward you that something you did for them. That gives us the strongest benefits, not just journaling, oh, I'm grateful for this today. It's a little bit more concrete when you're sitting there thinking about, gosh, this person did that for me, and it really saved me, or it came at a hard time, and I was so grateful for that. To kind of focus on situations like that, or even with other people. You read about those stories in World War II about people in France and Germany who are saving Jewish children from the Nazis, and how that affected the children that they saved, and how grateful those children were. You can meditate on something like that, any kind of positive thing, and there are tons of things out there that you can focus on. But definitely try to steer my gratitude practice toward situations where I've been grateful to somebody for a specific reason, and vice versa. And it's just a really, really neat concept. And I definitely want to, I've been doing that daily, and I want to kind of maintain that practice over time, because it's a really cool thing to focus on, I think. In that podcast, the physician, and again, I can't remember his name, he mentioned this practice that he does every morning where he exposes himself to sunlight when he wakes up to kind of boost cortisol in the morning, which we often think of cortisol as kind of a bad thing. It's a stress hormone. It makes us alert, but it has its place, as most things do in our body, that our bodies make. And cortisol is great for the morning to get you going, wake you up. And he had mentioned that getting direct sunlight kind of boosts that, makes him more alert in the morning, gets him ready to go. And while I have not done that yet, I definitely want to try it and see what it does for me. It just seems like an interesting and cool way to wake up in the morning. And I should mention that he does stress that it should be direct sunlight. Even through a window can diminish its benefits. So you definitely want to kind of get outside if you can. I know it's winter time, and if you live in some place like Wisconsin or Minnesota, it might be difficult to get outside in the morning during this time of year. But for me, I live in SoCal, so it's pretty easy. It was like 68 degrees today, so not a big deal for me. My next goal is actually taking better care of my décolletage area. I think that's how you say it. I've heard people say décolletage and décolleté, and I've always said décolletage, and I'm gonna go with it. I might be wrong though. But definitely maintaining the skin. I've, I wouldn't say I've been passionate about skincare, but I've certainly been aware of the benefits of taking care of my skin. And especially now that I'm in my 40s and the female hormones are kind of gonna just like dwindle, and the estrogen that keeps your skin nice and firm and plump is going to diminish over time. So I really need to concentrate on taking care of what I got and maintaining it. And I definitely do that with my face, but I can be neglectful. And I try to do my neck as well. I like lotion neck, front and back, and I even lotion behind my ears, and I do my earlobes as well. But sometimes I neglect my chest area. And if you've ever seen those ladies who tan a lot, they're in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and they do this, and it's like an accordion. I don't want that. So, and and I'm not trying to be mean or anything when I mention that. Some ladies like their tan. I'm kind of naturally tan, so I don't really have to worry about that. But I definitely want to concentrate more on moisturizing this area, protecting it, making sure that I put on sunscreen in this area every day, particularly in summer when I'm wearing like a scoop neck or a tank. Just kind of being more mindful of this area of the body, and making sure that I take care of it the way I take care of my face. My next one is one that I had on my list last year. It kind of goes on my list every year, and it's more of a maintenance thing than it is a new goal. And that is just kind of maintaining my personal relationships, the relationships that I have with my children, the relationship that I have with my husband, certainly. And, like my sisters, my mom, my dad, things like that. Particularly, unfortunately, we had a loss on Christmas Eve this year in our family, and it was just like a really good reminder that we're not here forever, and we need to enjoy the time that we have with the people that we have in our lives while we're all still here. So and again, I do this every year. I always try to make sure that I'm checking in with particularly my kids and my husband, because we live together, and these are the three closest people to me, because I want my kids to have like the best, most rock star life possible, whatever version that is that they choose to have, but also making sure that when they are out the door and living their own grown-up lives, that my husband and I still have a strong relationship, that we still make each other laugh, and that we still enjoy each other's company. And, marriage is hard. It's work. And it takes you a while to figure out exactly what that work is. Everybody tells you, oh, marriage is work. What kind? Nobody tells you those things. And you definitely, each couple is unique. So you definitely have to kind of explore each other's love languages and all of that jazz. So yeah, just kind of, maintaining things and I don't know, making things special every now and again, and making adding in some magic here and there and some sparkle, just to make, you know, make it all worth living. So definitely on my roster of New Year's resolutions as always. This last one, it's I don't want to say it's more serious, but it's definitely more serious in tone than my previous ones for the most part, and that is accepting certain things that I cannot change. That is, I think, difficult for everybody. And this is one specific thing that's a change that occurred in December of last year. And it feels like so much longer. I'm not going to get into it because it doesn't just involve me. But it's something that I didn't care for, and I still don't really care for, but I'm willing to tolerate for the most part to an extent. And just kind of accepting that that is something that I'm going to have to do if I want to maintain certain things in my life. And I'm trying to say this in as general a way as possible, again, just because of privacy reasons. But also to go along with that, to be assertive about things that I am absolute, like definite deal breakers. And, you know, neither one of those things are easy for me. I'm not super confrontational. I'm not somebody who, you know, I'm for the most part pretty easygoing. I'm go with the flow. I'm a middle child. I had a sister and a mom with really dominant personalities, and who were a little bit more high strung than me. I've always been pretty laid back and just kind of like, okay, sure, let's do it. So when things really bother me, I don't always say that they bother me. So I just want to work on, and in a very kind way, and in a very non-combative way for sure, because that's just not my style. Not let things that are going to bother me and kind of keep bothering me, not let those kind of things fly, and just simply state, you know, hey, I would prefer that this not happen. So that is definitely probably my most challenging of my New Year's resolutions, because again, I'm pretty easygoing, I'm pretty laid back. Even if something happens that irritates me or angers me even, I don't really, like, you know, I take a breath, and for me it's better to walk away. Again, I'm not confrontational at all. I really don't like it. It leaves ick, especially afterward, you know what I mean? But, you know, I also don't want to get to, because I am one of those people where you push me far enough and there's an explosion you didn't see coming. So I definitely don't want to do that. So I think that if I am a little bit more upfront about things that bother me, it will make accepting this change that I really didn't want a little bit easier for me. And it's, you know, it's just something that I have to work on. It's just a part of life. But anyhow, I hope that, you know, I know that it's not exactly clear what I'm talking about, and I know a lot of you are probably curious, but I hope that you kind of get an idea of the kind of challenge that I'm dealing with, and how we all have things in our lives that are just really difficult to manage, but we have no choice but to manage them. So that's basically all I'm saying, is just to kind of get okay with that and make sure that it does not affect me any more than it already has, but also it doesn't affect me in a way that leaves me just leaves me worse off than I would care to be. So anyhow, guys, that about wraps it up for this video. I know I can get really chatty on these ones, and this is going to be probably about a half an hour long, maybe longer. But anyhow, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday, a very Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. I hope you guys are all doing well. And I'm curious to know what your goals are for 2022. So leave me a comment down below. Once again, thanks for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I will see you all in the next video.